Hello, this is Dr. Kamani, licensed clinical psychologist. What is that job robbing from you? This is for Black women in toxic jobs, and particularly this is for Black women in toxic jobs who are starting to connect to or realize that they are deeply unhappy in their job. So that might be you, and they want to eventually leave. So this video and all of my videos are for you and are for Black women who have already left a toxic job and they are still in the healing process because it is a healing. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about what is a job robbing from you. So when we think about a job, most of us think about jobs as something to maintain our lifestyle, something to help us get a paycheck and have benefits. And I'm just coming on to talk to you about that perception. So when we think about a job and we think about getting the paycheck so we can live, so we can pay our bills, I also invite you to think about in what ways is the job robbing you of something? So if you think about a job is helping you live, in what ways is it causing you harm? And is that impacting the quality of your life and the quantity of your life? So when we're in a toxic job, we may really appreciate being able to pay our bills. And sometimes we might be paying our bills or working to pay our bills, which again is something for us to think about in terms of the life that we want to live for ourselves. So if you're in a situation where you have a job, the job might be paying just enough for you to pay your bills, you feel in many ways stuck to the job. Or let's say you are working at a job, the job is paying a little bit more or maybe a lot more, so you're able to pay your bills and then buy like extra things or go on vacations or buy nice things. When you're in this type of relationship with your job, it's like you're in a golden handcuff situation. So you feel tied to the job, so like golden handcuffs because of the perception of gold. However, when you think about the golden handcuffs, when you think about the gold, think about, is that gold really gold? Is it tarnishing? Is it turning your skin green? Is it fake gold? So again, thinking about the job might provide you with certain financial resources. However, at what cost? At what cost is the job providing you with these financial resources? And is the job also doing other things to you? So it may be providing resources financially, but is it also harming you in other ways too? So there might be things in which you might be, making good money, have good benefits. However, when I think about a job, and I invite you to think about a job like this too, a job and anything in your life, let's try to think of what are the things in your life that are life sustaining? What kind of things add to your life? What kind of things help you have an easier life? What kind of things help to sustain your life? If there's anything in your life that is harming your life and impacts not only the quantity, so when you think about being in a high stress environment, and many times a job, particularly a toxic job, can be extremely stressful. Stress does a number on our bodies, so physically and psychologically. So think about if you are in a high stress job because of a toxic situation. So when I talk about toxicity, generally it's not just one person, it's the whole system because a lot of times the system knows about the workplace bullies and they protect them and or promote them, which is crazy. But when you think about that and think about the toll that it's having on you, think about, does it make sense in relation to you staying in a harmful environment that's continuing to cause you harm physically and psychologically for the benefits? So I just ask you, sis, to think about what are really the benefits here? Are there really benefits? And are you accessing the benefits because of the stress from the job? Is your blood pressure going up so you have to go to the doctor more often because of the stress from the job? Doesn't make sense. Are you developing other symptoms, whether it be physical or psychological, because of that job. So if that's the case, again, how is that a benefit for you? So when I talk about these things, and I want you to think about too about your personal life. So in what ways does that job spill over to your personal life? So if you are thinking about the job once you leave and you're like consumed with thinking about the job, once you leave the job, you're constantly talking about it. Everybody around you knows you're going to be talking about the job. Everybody around you knows all the players at the job. If it's consuming your personal life, that's one example. Another example in which you know it's consuming your life is that you start defining yourself in relation to your job or your job title. Yeah, that's something you do, but it doesn't define you. If you start recognizing that it's defining you, now it's taking your identity. So it's you're looking for a source of validation outside of yourself in terms of what other people are saying your value is based upon your job position. So another way to tell in terms of a job is robbing you or what the job is robbing you of is if you wake up and you are filled with dread of the thought of going back to that toxic job. So again, it's spilling over to your personal life. If you are a Black woman, and I've heard about this so many times, it's too many times for me to even count, of Black women saying that they are crying on their way to work and or they're crying leaving work. If that is you, your job is robbing not only your peace of mind, but also it's causing you a lot of distress. So the cost is costing you something and it's taking away what? It's taking away your sense of sometimes confidence, your sense of self worth, your sense of pride in the work that you're doing. So I just invite you to think about what is that job robbing from you? So if you're thinking, I can't leave this job because I'm not going to be able to pay my bills and I'm going to end up like all these worst case scenarios, I invite you to say, you know what, let me just look at where's this coming from and also to check yourself that you're going to the worst case scenario. So if you were able to get this job, what makes you think that you won't be able to get another job? So if you're watching this, more than likely you are at a toxic job. You have worked really hard to get that job. More than likely, you're working really hard to keep that job, even under the attacks that you're receiving. You're probably still doing a great job. A lot of my YouTube guests, even for myself, working really hard under an immense amount of stress in the workplace. So if you're able to do these things, what makes you think that you wouldn't be able to get a job somewhere else and excel? I don't know what gives you that. So look at the data. If you were able to get this job, what makes you think that you won't be able to get another job? So now we're talking about exit planning. So when you think about exit planning generally starts off where you're starting to explore your options. And that's why I'm here too, because I want to let you know that you do have options. And part of what happens and what's so devastating many times when you're in a toxic job, you start internalizing that toxicity. So Stephanie Perry was talking to a woman on a live, and the woman was talking, and if you don't follow Stephanie Perry, please do so. So Stephanie Perry was talking to a woman about, I think it was moving abroad or something like that. And the woman said, yeah, in about a few years, I'll be ready for retirement and leaving this toxic job. And I wholeheartedly believe in what Stephanie was saying. She said, hold up, sis, do you recognize that when you're in a toxic job, that the toxicity is like a poison and poison gets in your body? So it gets in your body physically and psychologically. It can impact how you function outside of the workplace, but also how you see yourself. And part of what it does is that it poisons you in the sense that you believe that you cannot find something else. It poisons you in the sense of having this fear mentality that there's nowhere else I can go, or if I leave this job, I'm gonna end up unhoused. It causes that level of fear. So again, when you're in a toxic job, you are surrounded by poison. That poison, we have pores, okay? So the poison comes in to your body. So when you think about, well, what does this mean? I can't get out again. My videos are here to show you through my own example and all the Black women that I've interviewed a lot of Black women. And I want you to see across professions, across location in the world, that you are able to leave a toxic job and you have options. Again, you could take whatever skills and talents that you have at that current toxic job where you are not being appreciated. You can take that somewhere else. You can either find another job, you can do your own thing, have your own business, combination of both, but you have options. I don't want you to feel like you don't, because that contributes to depression, that contributes to anxiety. So I want you to start, if you are watching this right now and these words are resonating with you and you feel like, oh my gosh, he is talking to me, then I invite you to start thinking about your next steps. I invite you to start thinking about, what is my exit plan? So coming up with an exit strategy. Now, there was a comment that I got to one of my videos in which the woman was asking, how can I really want to leave this toxic job? How do I still work for things that I strongly believe in, that I'm passionate about? How do I still work for that and also do my own thing? Like, do I have to give up one to do the other? And I was sharing with her, no, I feel like I'm still working to help support the healing of Black people. It may not just be Black children, because I used to work for a school district. So I was working to support the wellness of all children, particularly Black children, because they were not getting the appropriate services and support. So I felt like I was trying to advocate for them until I was full on attacked. So I'm still working to support the healing of Black people. However, it's elevated. So it's not just with children. I'm working overall to help support the healing of Black people, but particularly Black women, because I am a Black woman. I have gone through this in terms of a toxic job and surviving it. I know the impact it can have on you. I know what it feels like to feel stuck and feel like you cannot get out and feel like just stuck at a toxic job due to fear. I know what that feels like. And because I know what it feels like, and because I've gotten out, I want to help as many Black women as I can to get out of a toxic job and to heal. So, again, when I think about what I'm trying to do, I'm here to support you. You may not know me personally, but I'm here to support you from afar. So, if you're listening to my videos, this might be part of your progression in terms of getting yourself ready. So, getting the courage to get ready to go. So, you might need to listen to the testimonies of me, my guests, and just reflect on your own life. So, it might take a while. So, let's give yourself permission to think about or explore options, because when we don't think about options or we feel like we're stuck, that's a horrible place to be in, and it does not help you. So, as we're talking about again, options, I want you to think again, what is that job robbing from you? If you're thinking, oh, I need to have this job because it pays for bills and benefits and all these other things, if the job is robbing you of your peace of mind, it's robbing you, and you're each day you're dreading going to work, it's robbing you every day. So think about what it's robbing you. And I've also talked about this too, and I've heard other Black women talk about this. Colette Elizabeth talks about it, Dr. Nadia Lopez talks about it, Dr. Jillian Watley, I interviewed her recently, and talking about the impact that the job has not only on you, but on those who care about you. So those who care about you, they are seeing you. They are bearing witness to your suffering. They are seeing what the toxic job is doing to you. And if you think about it too, sometimes that toxic job might be monopolizing your time and taking away time that you would want to spend with your family or friends. So think about in what ways is the job not only robbing from you, but also from your family, your friends, those who care about you, because it is very painful for them to see you harmed. It is very hurtful for them to see you harmed and feel like they don't know what to do to help you and to stop that stuff from happening at that job. So again, when you're thinking about the impact of the job or what is the job robbing from you, what is the job also robbing from those who care about you too? So again, I just want to come on briefly to just share things with you, to encourage you to reflect on your current situation at your toxic job, or even if you've left a toxic job, because when I talk about the experience, the healing, it's an ongoing journey. I left over a year ago. I'm still healing, but I'm in a much better place. And I want much better for you too. I want to help you. I want to usher in this movement that I keep talking about, that I'm ushering in a movement to help support more Black women leave toxic jobs and heal. My hope is that not only do we get out and we heal, but we let these employers know they're on notice that you can't treat people horribly and expect for them to stay. You can't do that. So we are saying no more. And so I invite you to reclaim your power, be honest with yourself, think about what is a job robbing you of? What are the costs to you staying at that job? Know that you can go somewhere else. You have options. If you are trying to figure out how to get out, I don't know what to do. I'm just lost. I need some help. I do have resources for you. So, in terms of the resources that I always mention, therapy, also a Black woman coach. So, S. Emery Archer, the anti-HR lady, has a Black Women's Coach directory. So you can access that and you can look to see what the different Black women focus on in terms of coaching you. And she also has a YouTube channel. So you can look at the interviews with different Black women coaches. So for me, I am full in with Black women coaches. So therapy and Black women coaches. I still have Black women coaches. They have helped me get to where I am right now. So, a Black woman coach will help you walk through what are the steps in terms of pivoting. So, if you are feeling, I want to go, but I don't even know what to do, I don't, I want to still be able to work in an area that I love, but also how do I do that? You may not know how to do that. So the coach can help you with that. And just a brief story for me. So when things started getting really ridiculous at that toxic job, I knew I had to go. I took a leave of absence. While I was on my leave of absence, my really good sister friend, who I would say is my first coach, was talking to me about you need to get a Black woman business coach, and I know somebody who can work with you. And I was telling her because something the coach was talking about and something for you to think about too. When you're thinking about pivoting, think about what are the skills that you have already that it's like the lower hanging fruit. So it'll be easier to find a job in those areas. And eventually you can move up to something else. But just to get you out, maybe you can go on those lower hanging fruit skills. So for me, when I was thinking about transitioning, my friend was talking to me. She said, why don't you work with, a business coach and you could start doing therapy through telehealth. And because of what I went through at that toxic job, and I'm telling you in terms of what was robbed from me. So I'm a psychologist. So part of my training is therapy, doing therapy. So when I was at the toxic job, the way that I was treated in terms of demoting me and saying that you have to do therapy in this way, even though I knew that what they were saying was not working. These were people who were not Black telling me what to do, and what they were saying was not effective with the clients, any of the clients, honestly. So I knew the way that they were trying to make, like, program me to do therapy, I knew it didn't work. And it completely took my love from therapy. So I told my friend, I don't want to do therapy. And she knows me. So she just said, sis, I just want you to think about it. Just think about it. Just be open-minded. Because prior to this experience of leaving a toxic job, I could get very close-minded. So if somebody said something that I didn't want to do, it was like, no, I don't think so. However, through this process, I've learned that the more that I'm open-minded, the more opportunities come my way. So my hope is that you are doing that too. You are being more open-minded and exploring options because literally I knew I could not go back to that job. And whatever feelings I thought I had about therapy, it could not be worse than what I was dealing with at that job. So she was saying to me, you know what? Just, I think that what's happening is that she's a therapist too. So she said, I think what's happening is that you are associating therapy with that toxic job and how they treated you. And that was absolutely true because when I said, you know what, let me try it. So when I started being more open and I started, accepting referrals for therapy. And this was like during the pandemic. So you know that a lot of people were open to therapy during the pandemic. So the time was aligned and I started doing telehealth. And let me tell you, God rewarded me because I love all my clients. They are phenomenal. And it's just been a blessing to be able to work with them. And I have reconnected to the joy of therapy. I love working with my clients. I light up. We laugh together. They let me challenge them in gentle ways. And we're able to talk like real talk too. So I've been able to reclaim that, but it was something that I lost as a result of that toxic job. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I also want to just say thank you to my clients because they have really shown me and reminded me that I do have a love for therapy. I really believe in it. I know it's effective. And I've seen the just tremendous transformations in my clients. So, again, as I'm sharing this story with you, I want you to reflect on in this toxic job, what is being taken from you? What are you being robbed from? And what are the costs of you staying there? So, again, if you're trying to figure out how to get out, I've talked to you about this before therapy, coaches. I'll put the Black Women's Coaches Directory in the description section. And then I'll also put in the description section the masterclass that I just did with S. Emery Archer. Again, the anti-HR lady. So the masterclass is past. However, you're still able to access the replay. And the masterclass is save yourself, channel your inner Harriet so that you can leave that toxic hustle job with your sanity and your coins. So it's a two-part masterclass. Again, you can access it immediately by clicking the link in the description section and getting it. So what the masterclass deals with not only how to get your mind right, but how do you also navigate the HR system? Because I've done videos about HR, how to navigate that system, and also templates of exactly what you need to do in terms of getting out with some coins too. So again, that resource is available to you. I hope that you are not like me and being closed-minded previously, or maybe you are like me and you are starting to open up your hands and being open to exploring different options. Different options entails you being open to recognizing what's happening to you and being open to pursuing a different life for yourself, pursuing a life where you're not waking up dreading waking up, a life where you're not crying leaving or going to work, a life where your family and your friends don't know all the details, they don't know all the people at your job. My hope is that that's the life that you want for yourself. So I'm reaching for you. So again, my business lifting as we climb consulting, wellness services. I'm reaching for you, sis. I'm trying to help support you. I have resources available for you. I hope that you will have an open hand. And I also hope that you will support the healing of other Black women as well, because so many of us are in a toxic job or we have left a toxic job. We all need support. So as you are healing, as you are getting support, please reach back to another sister and help her too. You can help her by sharing the information that I just told you in the description section of this video, and also share this video with her. Another way you can help other Black women is giving this video a thumbs up. So give it a thumbs up, and then YouTube will know to suggest this video to other Black women who are in similar situations. So if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Again, Lifting as We Climb Consulting, Wellness Services. And again, think about, what is that job robbing you of? Let's stop the robbers. Okay, let's stop them. If it's robbing you of your joy, if your job is a joy robber, let's stop that too. You deserve joy. You deserve respect. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve financial stability. You deserve all those things. And I want you to be in an environment where you can get those things. Okay. Okay. So I'm signing off, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.